So today, we're going to be taking a look at Maryse's big announcement, and we'll also be discussing Roman Reigns unifying the world titles. Before we get into it, make sure to drop a like below and subscribe if you're new. Let's start things off with this Roman Reigns idea of him winning both world titles. So it's been a while since we talked in depth about Roman Reigns' new persona, but it has been amazing so far, and it only gets better and better by the week. The only complaint I have with Roman Reigns right now would be his entrance music and his entrance video graphics. Even though the song is iconic to a lot of WWE fans, the Shield music has to go. Roman Reigns definitely grew out of that theme, and he needs something new to match his new persona. That is a bit frightening because WWE doesn't make theme songs the same way they used to many years ago. All the new themes we hear now from newer superstars all sound the same and sound very generic. So hopefully Roman's new theme can truly be something special and won't sound generic at all. Roman Reigns still has the big dog animation on his entrance video as well, which once again feels very outdated. Roman has grown out of the big dog nickname and hasn't been called that since the beginning of the year, so it's a bit weird to see that graphic still being there. But like Roman said himself, he wants even more drastic character changes to take place before bringing in the new music. So it's safe to say that his character is still going to take it up to another level in the near future. But Roman Reigns has become obsessed with this idea of being the head of the table for his family and WWE's biggest star. He claims that superstars are only relevant when they're going up against him. He calls it the island of relevancy. Now, we know how Roman feels about Monday Night Raw. He shared his thoughts on the show leading up to Survivor Series. He says that he doesn't watch Raw and doesn't know anyone who watches Raw. He said everyone's watching SmackDown because that's where he's at. So he flat out doesn't care about Raw and disrespected it. But what about the WWE Championship? Does Roman respect that title? And more importantly, would he like to compete for the WWE title and unify both world titles? This is an idea that came from John Cena Sr. John Cena Sr. appeared on Boston Wrestling and shared his thoughts on what he would like to see be done with Roman Reigns. Thank God they're using him the way they're using him. He's doing a great job, Roman Reigns. It's working. If Vince McMahon would have done this when it started, there would have been no issues at all with this kid. It's working. Now, his next thing has to be to grab the WWE Championship. There's no question about it. We're going to go big time, big time. So how about he does get both titles and, as tribal chief, makes the decision that there can't be two champions. He's the chief, he's the boss, and there will only be one now, and he unveils the new WWE Undisputed Championship. So I wanted to talk about his idea because there are some things I like about it. First of all, the idea of unifying the world titles will never happen in the near future because both Raw and SmackDown need a main event title. You can't have both world titles on one brand or introduce a new undisputed title that will only appear on one brand. That's a horrible idea because it leaves one show with no main event title at all. The only way for this idea to actually work is if the brand split officially ends and Roman Reigns appears on both Raw and SmackDown as the undisputed champion. Then there'll be no issue with unifying the titles. From a character perspective, it feels like this is something that should come across Roman's mind. If he has this mentality to take everything over and just truly lead the WWE as its one and only leader, why doesn't he turn his attention to the WWE World title and decide that he wants to win that title as well? It's like an old school Conquerors sort of mentality. Conquerors never stopped and settled after one big win. They just kept going for more and more without stopping. So what if Roman Reigns turns into that same exact sort of character? Yeah, he's happy to be Universal Champion and lead SmackDown, but there's another world title over on Raw, and they're not acknowledging him at all over on Raw. That will be Roman's cue to shift his attention on Raw, make them fall in line, and then just take their world title. It just seems like the sort of thing that this new character would do. Then from there, like John Cena Sr. said, maybe that'll be the ideal time to end the brand split and introduce a new Undisputed title. Now, Roman Reigns' character looks even more outstanding because he literally conquered both Raw and SmackDown. He'll no doubt be the tribal chief of the entire WWE roster if he did something like that. Either way, 2 titles or 1 title, Roman Reigns continues to reinvent himself and show us a new side of his character every week. The way he can beat down Jay whenever he pleases and then talk to Jay the following week like nothing happened is pretty insane. We've never seen anything like this. Then the backstage attack on Kevin Owens and then talking to Kevin's family through the camera was a nice touch. Obviously, Kevin's entire family is watching SmackDown, so that was the perfect time to directly talk to them. One of the things that I've started to enjoy more from Roman Reigns is the talking in between his matches as well. Yeah, some superstars will scream or quickly trash talk their opponents during a match, but the way Roman does it just feels different than other regular trash talking in a match. Roman is out there giving full-blown monologues to his opponents in the middle of his matches, and I really like it because I feel like it adds another layer of story to the match. It's basically like extra promo time. We get to hear more thoughts from Roman and what's going through his mind in that given moment. And considering that he's arguably the most interesting character on WWE television right now, we definitely want to hear from him as much as we can. So that's why the talking in the middle of the match is a great thing for him and the story he's telling. The commentators go silent and they always let Roman say his few little lines during the match. We'll always have to see what's next for Roman Reigns. WWE is apparently looking for a WrestleMania opponent for him, since the match with The Rock is not happening. But what are your thoughts on the idea of Roman winning both titles? Maryse has been away from the WWE full-time since pretty much 2017. She did return for a quick little feud with Brie Bella after her first pregnancy, but Maryse disappeared again for her second pregnancy. She'll be 38 next month, and she's coming off back-to-back pregnancies. But it doesn't look like anything is stopping her. Maryse announced on Twitter that she does have serious interest in returning to the WWE and believes that she has one last run left in her. As far as what that means, it's hard to tell. Does she mean managing The Miz again and going on the road for a while? Or does she mean that she wants to get back inside that ring herself for a while? Maryse's fans are obviously hoping to get both. They want to see her get in the ring, and they want to see her get paired up with The Miz again. It's been several years since we've seen Miz and Maryse on WWE television together, so that's something that the fans miss as well, especially with the fact that John Morrison is in the mix too. It'll be interesting to see how the three of them will mix together. Maryse's 2018 feud with Brie Bella was great, and it did main event SmackDown, but Maryse definitely deserves a bigger exit than that, so hopefully we do get to see this one last run for Maryse in WWE. But what are your thoughts on today's wrestling news? Do you want to see Roman Reigns as a dual champion? And would you like to see Maryse return for one last WWE run? Leave your comments. Don't forget to subscribe with all notifications on, and leave a like if you enjoyed. Thanks for watching, guys.